Hello, everybody. This is Anthony, Beyond from Mission Start Podcast, and this is your reaction stream of both Square Enix and Nintendo. And joining us with us to talk everything about what we saw this morning is none other than Greg Dietz.
Hello.
I
am tired.
Yes, we kind of both are at this point. So yeah, we are going to talk about what we saw this morning. One was really short. The other was a bit longer than I expected to be. So, I think we should start with the shorter one, Nintendo. Which Nintendo, man, they, when it came to their stuff, like, there were stuff that were shown that we expected. There were stuff that was new that they showed up as well. And it was interesting. It was short, like 40 minutes, I think it was. 40, 50 minutes.
It was about 50, I think, yeah. Because it started at the time it was supposed to, which was 9, and I think it ended, like, enough time for the other... Because I was watching IGN's coverage on YouTube. And they still had time to talk and be boring until Square Enix's. But yeah, it was actually funny because... So before we get into anything they talked about or did in the conference, something that I've mentioned before is that Nintendo, their E3 things are always going to be smaller than, or less than the other ones, regardless, because they have one direct every 3 months.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And every single direct goes, here's what's coming out in the next 3 months. Or at least here's what's coming out in the next 6 months, you know, like Star Fox. I don't think it's coming out. I think it's coming out in like October or November or something like that.
Right.
So, which we'll get to about that. But internet's just pissed off. Like, it didn't give us anything. They didn't show us anything cool. It's like, what were you expecting? The same shit you saw at Sony? The only reason Sony got away with that shit was because nobody was paying attention to them.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of what Nintendo showed was a mix of something we already knew about, or a mix of stuff that we haven't seen in a while, or that we haven't seen at all. But for the most part, it was really a safe press conference, to say the least. So let's just go down the list of games that they shown in the press conference. So the first thing they showed was Star Fox.
Star Fox Zero.
Yes, Star Fox Zero. And that game they showed off, it's I wouldn't say it harkens back to the original Star Fox, because it mixed in some of the modes that the vehicle can transform into, like in the GameCube version of the game, where you can turn into a tank. Now you can turn into like a hovercraft, and even now a chicken if you wanted to, and shoot stuff.
Right. Well, my thing was about... Are you serious? My thing about Assault, Star Fox Assault, was that controlling the tank wasn't fun. It was very boring and methodical. And then on top of that, you could get out of the vehicles, and that was even more boring. Like, it was just like, oh, okay, I'm just kind of going through the motions.
Right.
And I really hope, like, from what this looks like, you never get out of the vehicles. And I really hope that the vehicle, like, when you're not in an R-Wing in space, it's fun. Like, I sincerely hope that it never stops being entertaining.
What if I told you, because this is something I've heard from other people covering the game, that the controls for Star Fox is the same as Splatoon, where you're using the gyroscope to kind of maneuver your ship on the Wii U.
I don't like that. First off, that's my personal thing. Not saying it's not a cool idea, not saying it's nifty. It's definitely using the Wii, the pad itself. But if you go, the R-Wing missions are essentially like this. Like, fine, whatever. But if you sit there and tell me that I can't change it to where I'm just controlling it like classic, then what's the point?
Yeah. I think that they are going to put an option for that. I mean, in Splatoon, like, you initially started with the default of the gyroscope, but you can turn it off and use alternate controls with it, which is, the kind of usual stuff for most FPSs. So my guess is they'll do the same for this. But what I'm hearing so far initially is that people are not liking the gyroscope with Star Fox right now, and it's clunky and it's weird. Sorry, it's clunky and it's not comfortable. I mean, like, but all things, like, like, in due time, like, you get more comfortable to one thing with the more you use it. But initially, this first reaction from what I've been hearing is that people are not liking it at all. So,
like, on the showroom floor?
Yeah. So,
wow.
So yeah, like, I heard the Giant Bomb guys were talking about it and saying they did not like how it's incorporated into the game right now. So
that's disappointing to hear, because that was the biggest. The only other, there was another game, and I'll get to it, that had me excited. Still has me excited, but that was like the biggest announcement for me.
Yeah, I think it was for a lot of people, because it was teased at last year's E3, and it was something that people were really wanting to see, but didn't get to see. So we got to see it this year. Also, no, I like the fact that the skits in between the games that they were doing, the Muppets were great. They were great.
Those are the puppet schedule.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
So let's see. After Star Fox was, I believe, it was Star Fox first. Actually, give me a minute. I'll just pop up the
Anthony.
list. Yeah.
I know we're recording, but I'm sending you a message on Facebook. You need to read it, and then we can continue.
All right.
But yeah, so continue. Sorry, keep going.
Right, gotcha.
I think the next one was the next one was really cool. Was it Metroid?
No.
Hello?
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. So
Okay.
The funny thing about Metroid is, okay, remember that soccer game, space soccer game they were showing off at the Nintendo World Championship thing yesterday?
Yeah, that was yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah,
Balls.
Yeah, so I think me and like everybody else who are trying to figure out, like, what is this game and why is it taking place in this entire championship thing, other than Nintendo, promoting its product. But apparently it is a mini game to a bigger game, to a Metroid Prime game on the GDS. And I was like, oh, that's cool. That kind of changes things.
I think it's neat that they're definitely bringing Metroid Prime to the DS, but from what I understand, it's not. You don't ever play as Samus. It just takes place in the Metroid Prime universe.
Okay.
That's because that's what I've been hearing a lot of online. Is everyone's like, "Oh, I'm disappointed. I want my Samus." Blah 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 blah. So
right, definitely. So they showed it off. It was interesting, and it's more Metroid, and I believe some of the guys who did the Metroid Prime series, if I'm not mistaken. But to go back and check. After that, they talked about, I believe, I want to say it was the Fire Emblem stuff, but it might be like later in the conference. But I can bring it up now. So they showed off more Fire Emblem, just like 2 new trailers. Nothing really new, just like showing out, like, hey, they're still working on it, and it looks pretty cool. So there really wasn't much information out of that. I think
which one? I'm sorry, I was looking at my phone.
Oh, Fire Emblem.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't really.
It was just a cinematic trailer.
Yeah, so. And then after that was shown, I believe it was the Skylanders thing, which they announced.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, for those who don't know, Skylanders is kind of like Amiibos, where you have to buy a certain device to make it work. You put your Skylanders figures on top of to your bed into the game. So them and Nintendo are teaming up to initially make Skylanders Amiibos, where you just turn the bottom of it to the left and place it on a Nintendo Wii U, and it'll be as an Amiibo. And likewise, if you want to say like the special Skylanders figures that's Bowser or Donkey Kong that you can use in the Skylanders universe. It's an interesting concept, and I think this just kind of feeds more into the amiibo craze that's happening right now. As if you didn't have enough amiibos to buy already. So
yeah, it was the thing I was thinking was that if the people who make Skylanders toys team up with Nintendo to make more amiibos, then maybe people will get more amiibos. So I don't know, we'll see about that. But
agreed. The other thing they showed off was the usual Mario stuff. They showed Super Mario Maker. Really cool behind the scenes stuff with Miyamoto in terms of like how he designs his games. So like he'll draw it out on paper first, and then instead of like erasing it to change things, he'll put like a flat like see-through paper, a tracer paper, and then like make corrections over it to make corrections. That was cool. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was it was also really cool because I've talked to people about, like, especially with Shovel Knight, how like the first level of something like that where you don't have a tutorial, the first level needs to be the tutorial. And how he kind of described, like, yeah, we thought about this sort of thing. Like, you have this, and there's no gap. Or there's a gap, but there's no ditch. And then but the next one totally has a pit that you can die in. So, like, training the player as you're playing is, like, was how you had to do things back then. And to have him kind of talk about it for, like, a second was really rad.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The other thing that showed off Mario was Mario Tennis.
Yeah. Which is cool.
Yeah, you know, it's the same as, you know, other Mario tennis games, except this time you can power up in the sense that you can grow big.
Yeah.
And at one point, like in the trailer, like there was like two big characters, like a Peach and it was a Bowser that at one point just like facing off against each other, and they have two small characters at the same time. So that was fun. That was pretty cool. But yeah, Mario Tennis was shown off, and it looks cool.
I think it was either before Mario Tennis or right after Mario Tennis, but the next game has me probably the most excited about everything they showed at this Direct, and that's the crossover RPG Mario and Luigi Paper Jam.
Yes.
I'm very excited, because I love Paper Mario, and I love the Mario and Luigi RPG series, so I'm 100% stoked to play this one.
I definitely love the idea, and I definitely love the mashup they're doing between those two games. Paper Mario with Super Mario RPG is cool, and I think it'll be a good game when it comes out. Did they announce? Is it coming out next year? They said, or
no, everything in the store is coming out this year.
This year? Oh shit!
Yep, okay. Everything.
Everything?
When I don't know, but everything is coming out this year that they showed.
That's good to know. As I have to go back and see what games they have to figure out. That's cool. That's awesome.
Well, that's Nintendo's thing. They try to show, I mean, maybe Xenoblade is coming out next year, but as far as I know, everything they show, and they've been doing this for a long time, even before they started doing the Directs, was like, everything we show is coming out in the next 6 months. So.
Definitely. That's cool. If that's the case, then I'm very, very excited for this fall. This fall and spring of next year. It's going to be a pretty awesome amount of games. So that was cool. The other set that they showed off, just calling off the top of my head, was, let's see. In terms of like what else they showed. Oh, so one of the new things that they're bringing out with
sorry to interrupt, but yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles X is coming out December 4th of this year.
Wow. Okay. All right.
So even that one is coming out this year. Yeah.
Definitely. So one of the things they announced with the the Super Mario Maker game is like they're having them. I'm gonna get this because this looks freaking cool.
Mario Maker is, oh my god, it's brilliant. I was before we continue, and I kind of talked about this earlier, I was horribly skeptical on Mario Maker until the Nintendo World Championships. And then I was like, oh my god, it's brilliant. And then they announced so much stuff you can do with it. I'm just like, keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Yes,
because it's just amazing.
Just give it all to me right now.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say the other thing that they announced with the game was that they have this awesome 3D pixelated amiibo of Mario you can purchase. It's kind of bulky and big, but it looks so cool. I'm definitely getting that. But yeah, that was announced with that as well. Didn't they announce? They announced their Animal Crossing stuff. They announced that an Animal Crossing game, I think it's called Happy House, is coming out for the 3DS this year. And then the Wii U version is coming out also as well later on this year.
Yeah.
Which the cool thing about it is that the party version is that they're gonna have Animal Crossing amiibos, and like whatever amiibo you get, you can use in the game board. And that got me excited because I want a Tom Nook amiibo, because that'd be awesome.
I think I made a joke to everyone in the Heat group chat we were doing was when you play board games with Tom Nook, you let Tom Nook win.
It sounds about right.
Yeah.
It sounds about right. Let's see. Other game. There weren't a lot of games really initially shown at this press conference, as we said, for Nintendo. The other game that showed up was the new Legend of Zelda game for the 3DS, where you and two other people can team up, kind of like Four Swords back on the GameCube, but initially just 3 people instead. And it's pretty cool. You get different ideas that are thrown around. Now Link can change outfits via like Final Fantasy X2 style. So, and he gets different abilities and whatnot. So it's pretty cool. Other than that, though, I'm trying to think what else.
I actually made a meme. I'll send it to you right now so you can put it up on the chat wall. I made this because I thought it was funny.
Oh, let me see if I can. Let's see if I can get this to work. Copy image location. All right, chat. If you can read this, you're awesome. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like there are actually people who didn't notice that they were talking about how Link's gonna have like he's basically in a town of fashion, and I was like the whole idea behind the game is that you're not gonna get abilities like you would traditionally. Everything's gonna be done. It's kind of like Majora's Mask. You have to put on the outfits to do things.
Definitely.
You have to put on the mask to do things. Like it's very similar to that. It seems like anyway. So that's I'm actually looking forward to this one. And they even talked about if you don't have friends to play it with, the other 2 characters are dolls, and you can swap between them. I think, or some shit like that.
I don't. It might be a thing. I need to go back and check exactly what it is.
They definitely mentioned something about solo play and then the other 2 players being dolls. Right. I remember that, but I don't know how that's gonna play.
Right.
So
definitely. But yeah, that looked pretty cool. That looked pretty awesome, and I'll pick it up for sure. Now I got a 3DS finally. But let's see. Other than that, they've shown. They did briefly talk about the NX, but they said they won't. That's nothing to announce other than the fact that it exists. And
I think that was about it.
Yes, like I said, like
yes,
the Nintendo stuff was short, and they didn't show a lot of stuff per se. There was a few other games that they also announced too or showed off, but it's not coming to mind at the moment.
I'm pulling up a list right now.
Yeah, if you could find it, that'd be great. I know they announced other Nintendo stuff. I think it was.
Let's see. We had Paper Jam, Metroid Prime Federation Force, Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes, Star Fox Zero, Hyrule Warriors Legends for the 3DS.
Right. They're bringing that. Yeah. Okay.
Fire Emblem Fates. A crossover game, Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
Which is going to come out in Japan first before it even comes here. So. Animal Crossing Home Designer. More Yoshi's Woolly World and the Amiibos, how they are little plushies.
Right, yeah.
And then Super Mario Maker. That was it.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Overall, Nintendo was pretty safe. I feel like they didn't particularly wow me or just kind of show me anything new, other than a few games, but it was safe.
It was good. Yeah, like again, as somebody, like, there's something that I've noticed about Nintendo. They show very little because they're going to have another Direct in 3 or 4 months from now, and they're going to show more. They're going to announce more.
Yeah.
So if you were disappointed by it, that's not necessary. because that's Nintendo for you from here on out. They're not going to surprise you with every Direct.
Yeah. So after that, back to back was the Square Enix press conference, and this was like early in the morning at 10 a.m. And they showed off some of the games.
I'm pulling up a list of that as well for you.
Awesome, cool, thanks. So they showed some other games there as well, some of which they already shown at the Sony press conference, like the Final Fantasy VII Remake trailer that was shown already, the Roll of the Final Fantasy trailer that was shown already. I believe then they showed other stuff as well that was kind of surprising that they're actually working on.
So here's the list, and I'll go slowly so we can talk about each thing.
Okay.
They showed a really cheesy, but intentionally so, I believe, gameplay trailer for Just Cause 3.
Yes, that was
which looks
great.
awesome.
Oh my god. So real quickly, Just Cause 3, they showed off. They talked about it for a little bit, and they showed off a gameplay trailer of it. And the funny part about it is, like, you had this guy in this kind of serious voice, like, describing what you can do in the game. And in the game, like, you see Rico just, like, attach 2 trucks or 3 helicopters to each other with the what do you call it, the grappling hook, and they're just colliding with each other. The physics are going nuts. It's like, oh my god, it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm totally happy for it. Funhouse recently had a GTA 5 mod Let's Play where they had grappling hooks, and they figured out that if you grapple 2 items together, they have to get pulled to one another. And the second I saw that was like just a regular mechanic in the game beyond being modded, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
The second I get that, I'm unstoppable.
Yes. It's ridiculous, and it's awesome. They're just going nuts with this game.
Yeah.
So I'm loving it.
So unfortunately, I have to make this quick, so we'll just keep moving on.
Yes.
We'll just keep trucking along.
Definitely.
They next had a cinematic trailer for Rise of the Tomb Raider, which, cool. We've seen a lot of that already, so... and then they showed the trailer again for Final Fantasy VII Remake that they showed yesterday at the Sony conference. There's an iOS version of Final Fantasy VII coming this winter, but I think it's just the PS1 version.
It is. It's PS1 version of the game. So.
They showed the trailer for World of Final Fantasy again, and kind of hinted at the fact that it's like an amiibo sort of thing, I guess.
I didn't get that initial feeling when they showed it.
The guy just kept talking about toys. Like, I wanted to make it look like toys. Toys this and toys that. And I was like, oh no. Oh no. Lego's already got one coming out. Please don't tell me Square's got one coming out. And they didn't do it, so.
Yeah.
But that's what I thought was going to happen. They showed a little bit more of Hitman and talked about it for way too long.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's Hitman, man. I mean, it's... You like, this game does look like it's going to be a little bit more involved in how you do the assassination and giving you more options compared to the other games, but Hitman fans are going to play it.
Right.
I'm not, because I don't care about Hitman, but
right, definitely.
There was an actual gameplay trailer for Deus Ex.
Mankind Divided.
It's not Deus. I keep saying Deus. It's
Deus Ex.
Not Deus Ex. There was a pronunciation thing that game trailers did recently, and I'm trying to remember how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
But Mankind Divided, and that's actually set to release early 2016.
Yes.
That was the big news with that one.
Yes, definitely. Apparently, the last one made enough money for them to continue on with the series with another sequel. It was one of the games I'm really looking forward to. But they showed a new trailer for it, and it's more Deus Ex. And it's cool.
Yeah. I mean, awesome. If you like the first one, if you like the last one, you're gonna love this one. So, they did announce another game around that time, like right in the middle of the show, and we're gonna talk about that last because that was like the highlight for me. So I'll move on. They're doing a sequel to Nier, which a lot of people seemed excited about. I've never played the first one, so I have no connection to why it's so cool.
I do know of the name, and I remember people talking about it. It's a really niche game.
It's an Xbox 360 game. I know that much.
Yeah, so I'm kind of surprised that they're making a sequels for it. But yeah, like, it's happening. And
yeah, it's handled by Platinum Games, so...
Which is making everything, I guess, this year, so...
Well, you make like 5 good games in a row, you're bound to get a ton of new titles, so...
That's a good point, yeah.
They have a mobile game coming out, Tomb Raider Go.
Yes, which I'm excited for. Hitman Go.
Yeah, it
was
looks
great.
interesting.
Hitman Go was great, and I cannot wait for Tomb Raider Go, because if it's on the same idea of what Hitman Go was, that's cool. I'm up for it.
Yeah, it says it's turn-based gameplay, so it's probably similar.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key, yeah. Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key, which seems like it's like a recap of everything that's been going into Kingdom Hearts and then leading into Kingdom Hearts 3.
It sounds like it. There was a
which
game...
I might as well just say it now, because that's the thing I want to talk about the most. They announced Kingdom Hearts 3. We'll get back to it later.
Yeah.
Not announced. They showed something for it.
Yeah.
But anyway, Unchained Key looks cool. But it was like I was a little like, because I was expecting something to do with Kingdom Hearts 3, and they showed that first.
Yeah, it was kind of I feel like they've been in the business of trolling people as of late of what they've been doing with the Kingdom Hearts or just of anything Square Enix wise that people really want. So yeah, like it's kind of funny how that happens. But yeah, they showed that off, and it was for mobile. It kind of reminds me of the game on the Game Boy Advance way back, like Kingdom Hearts Unchained Memories, where it was kind of the same thing, except you used card-based tactic for the game.
Yeah, that game sucked though. That was a GBA game, and I hated that game. And that I think that was just because like Kingdom Hearts was so awesome and fun, and we were waiting for Kingdom Hearts 2, and they were like, "Here's this mediocre GBA game," and we were just like, I remember my brothers were like, "Is it combat or is it card-based? It's both. That doesn't really make sense." And I never beat it. My brother beat it. I ended up buying the mangas for it, but yeah, like, and then 2 was amazing, and then they just came out with like a slew of these side stories that I never played and probably won't ever play. I just want 3.
Right. I think you and a bunch of other people were there just for Kingdom Hearts 3 footage of any kind.
It wasn't just there for Kingdom Hearts 3 footage. I was definitely expecting it.
Yeah.
Because that's like, right now, like, I want to play Tomb Raider. I'll check out Nier. It looks cool. Just Cause 3 is amazing. Definitely World of Final Fantasy.
Yes.
But, like, we've been waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3 for way too long. And it was slowly becoming another Half-Life 3. So, like...
No, well, here's the thing, though, about that. It wasn't... they were going to make 3 regardless. It was just that they were taking a lot longer than expected. Like, for other games like Half-Life 3, like, we don't know at this point if Valve's ever going to make that game ever again. So for even the Final Fantasy 7 announcement...
Well, I'm definitely talking about before last year.
Oh,
it was never announced or talked about. There was even rumor that Kingdom Hearts 3 wasn't going to get made. And all sorts of shit. Like, there were development teams that were working on the DS games, and they were like, yeah, nobody said anything about Kingdom Hearts 3. So it was looking a little dead in the water for a hot minute there. And then the announcement at E3 last year was like, oh my god, it's alive.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's not dead.
I feel like this has been the year of like games that we thought were dead are alive in some form.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Absolutely true.
Mm-hmm.
But moving on, they announced a new Star Ocean game, which I've never played a Star Ocean game, but people seemed really excited about it.
Yeah, people went nuts on Twitter for it, so...
It's called Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness.
Mm-hmm.
Previously announced in Japan, will also be getting a release in North America and Europe in 2016 as a PS4 exclusive. A new gameplay trailer was shown as well. Okay, so yeah. PS4 exclusive. How that wasn't shown at Sony yesterday is beyond me.
Yeah, I guess. I think that it was interesting that they decided to hold it this press conference, but it's Square Enix's prerogative to do that, so...
Yeah. Next was, they announced a Final Fantasy portable app called, damn it, what the hell was it called?
Square Enix Portal? Something like that?
Portal, yeah, it was Final Fantasy Portal.
Oh, okay, Final Fantasy Portal, yeah.
Portal app or something like that. It's basically a Final Fantasy wiki.
Pretty much. There's nothing really new at all.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be like a companion app as well later down the road with new Final Fantasy games, but
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah.
And then they announced, I think this was the last thing they talked about, which was an all-new RPG, tentatively titled just RPG Project.
Oh, yeah.
And it was announced today that it's in development and it'll be released next year. At least that's the tentative date. And it's being helmed by a new studio called Tokyo RPG Factory.
Yeah.
So we have no idea what this is. They were just like, it's basically like being told by your girlfriend that you're about to get some, but no date, no time, or anything like that. Like no. It's a terrible analogy, but just go with me here, I guess.
Yeah, I hear ya. No, I it's definitely like, it was just like an announcement of an announcement. It's like, hey, we're making this game. Okay, can I get anything for it? No. Title screen. Sound effect. All right, we're good.
I think my issue with the entire conference as a whole was like, yes, they showed some stuff that I'm definitely going to play. They showed some stuff that was awesome. But it was about an hour and a half long, and maybe a little less than that. At least it felt like that long, because they did far more talking than the other conferences.
Agreed.
It was like there was like a straight up like 10-minute talk about something. Mm-hmm. I don't even remember what it was. I just remember. Oh, it was right before the Hitman. Good Lord, that guy wouldn't shut up about Hitman.
Yeah.
I'm like, just show the trailer. What are you doing?
Yeah, it definitely, like, in this press conference, things dragged on way too long than it really should be.
I get you have to come out and talk about the game. You have to kind of build it up, but it should be 30 seconds to a minute, and then done. Like, it's insane to me that, like, because there was another game. There was a girl and a guy on stage, and the girl talked forever. And then when the guy came up, he was just like, "All right, enough talk. Show the game." Like,
yeah,
I don't know if that was intentional, or if the guy was just like, "I'm tired of all this talking," or he seemed very adamant about getting it done quickly. So I don't know, but
my guess, here's what my thinking about this is that I think the reason why they went on for too long is like they're trying to stretch that time, because they're presenting not that many games realistically at the press conference. So they're trying to drag that along as long as they possibly can to kind of make up, or make it feel like it's a longer press conference than it really should be. Yeah. So
I mean, it was a good conference. It wasn't great. It wasn't mind blowing. I'll definitely remember some of the stuff from it. But because I think that there was just too much downtime between trailers, or too much downtime between reveals or whatever, that's going to dock them a lot of points on entertainment. And I know that it's a trade show and that it's not meant to be entertaining, but at this point, when you're hosting it on Twitch for the world to see, maybe you should make it more entertaining than just we're here today to talk about this. Like, it shouldn't be an actual press conference.
Right, definitely.
But yeah, it was. They showed a lot of cool games. I mean, so they showed some games that I had never played the previous ones too, and I was like, maybe I should play the other one.
Right, definitely. I feel the very same way, because I asked a friend of mine who was really into Nier, and like I had no point of reference about the game other than knowing it exists, and he told me like, yeah, man, this game is really, really good. So I had to go back and check it out when I had the time.
Yeah, I'll see if I can't try to rent it on GameFly or something.
Yep. Real quickly, Kingdom Hearts 3 was shown. It showed off a new stage. They showed off kind of more animation and more of a story trailer than anything else. A mix of cinematics and gameplay footage. The game looks good.
Yeah, it looks great. I mean, I from my perspective, it looks like exactly what it needs to be. A game that works on the new generation of consoles, that plays like the original stuff. You go into an area, you beat a bunch of darkness, you move on. That's how it should always be. Don't break what ain't, or don't fix what ain't broken. That sort of thing. Like the thing about Kingdom Hearts, especially 1, 2, and 3, leading up, 1 and 2 are incredibly similar. Mm-hmm. Incredibly similar. Mm-hmm. And it's just 2 is bigger, So 3 needs to be bigger than 2, but the same. Like
Right.
it's that whole like Portal thing I talk about. Between Portal 1 and 2, nothing changed that much. They just added a few new mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that they need to do, and they showed that. They got the fucking teacup attack.
Yeah. I feel like the scalability of this game is getting bigger too with some of the bosses, like they showed in the gameplay trailer. Also, the fact that like now like Sora can transform his like weapons into guns now, so that's a new thing.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was rad. I don't know what that's about exactly, but maybe it's a particular Keyblade that does that.
Yeah, possibly. So,
but I'm excited. I'm very excited. Like I'm gonna watch that trailer again later when I have better internet and can actually watch things in HD.
Right. Definitely.
But that'll definitely be in my top 10 games I'm excited for.
Agreed. I think overall, I think the press conference was okay. I don't think it was that much better than the other ones. I do say it is much better than EA though, in my opinion.
I will say yeah, absolutely better than EA, better than Ubisoft. As of right now, look at them closely and see exactly what they showed and how they showed it, and I'll do that later this week. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm standing at the moment.
I hear you. I still need to go back and kind of rethink because like there's still the PC press conference later on tonight.
That's true.
So if any,
that's a 3-hour one, man.
I know that's gonna be long. But yeah, like if there's anything big that's gonna happen tonight, there's only one company that would come in and say that, and that's Valve. But we have to wait and see.
If Valve comes out during the PC conference, it's just like Portal 3, Half-Life 3,
Left 4 Dead
Team
3.
Fortress 3, Left 4 Dead 3. Like if they just do that, just back to back to back to back, not only are they going to explode the internet, but this will easily be one of the best E3s I've ever seen.
Agreed.
I mean, it's already in like the top tier
E3s.
E3s.
Yes,
so.
Agreed. I wanted to happen. Anyways, we had to make this short, but actually, before we go, there's one thing I want to show you guys real quickly. So, one of the presenters at the Square Enix press conference wore a mask, and apparently that's his thing. He doesn't want to be seen in public. So, I'm putting it up on stream right now. But that's what he wore. That mask is creepy as shit. So yeah, he wore that mask during the press conference. Apparently it's his shtick. He doesn't like to be seen. And that's kind of what he does. So
yeah, it was super creepy, and like his clap too was this. It was just
it was weird. Even his clapping was really creepy. But anyways, that's gonna do it for our show. Greg, Greg, where can I find you on the internet?
Just seriously, I found out last night doing this podcast. If you go to Google, type in one word Chub Rock Geek, you literally will find everything I'm attached to.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find my Twitter, you'll find my Facebook, you'll find my Instagram. You'll even find a LinkedIn account that I didn't know existed. Not a LinkedIn, a Smite account that I didn't know existed. So, I mean, I should have known it existed, but I didn't think it would show up on Google. But yeah, just because I'm on everything as Chub Rock Geek, so it's not hard to find me. I do reviews on this website all the time. I'm gonna have some later this week. And I stream every Wednesday on Half Empty. I won't be there this Wednesday though, but next Wednesday for sure.
Cool, awesome. As Greg said, I'm gonna put this right in my face. Fear it. So yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Defective Naruto. You can follow the work that me and Greg do on our website at missionstartpodcast.com, which you can see right here, I believe. Oh no, come on. Oh, okay. Hopefully, there it goes. Yeah. Also, if you enjoyed this podcast, we have an audio version on iTunes and Stitcher called Mission Start Podcast, which you can listen to on there as well as on our website. If you enjoy our convention talk, we go to multiple anime conventions, all conventions of all kinds, and give our critique of what exactly we think of it. Check out the Conover, which is a podcast on iTunes and Stitcher, as well as hosted on our website as well. And if you enjoy HBO, entertainment, comic books, and that type of stuff, Please check out Jeremy's podcast, The Rolling 20s, which is also on iTunes and Stitcher, as well as hosted on our website as well. And one more note, we are putting these videos up on YouTube. So great, they can't see you. I was gonna say you can find these videos on our Twitch channel, but also will be on our YouTube channel as well. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to our YouTube and our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Mission Start Podcast. That's gonna do it for us. We'll be back later on for the last press conference later on tonight for the PC press conference. But for now, we'll see you guys next time.